Hello and welcome back to Sprite Card Plays HyperRogue. We are continuing on our long and wonderful adventure, and today we are going to, I actually have made notes about what we're going to do, and the first thing that I want to do is look for, we should have the emerald mine unlocked. Let's take a look, make sure that we don't need anything else, and if we do, we will go get it. There we go, it is unlocked. So, the goal is to go to the emerald mine and get the treasures from there, get the orb of mind. And then we're going to head back into the living cave and try to get 25 of the gold. We already have 10. And once we have that, we're going to be able to create golems. And then, let me check my notes. We are going to talk to the knights. Go to Camelot and talk to the knights. And we might end up doing that before we head into the living cave. So let's head into the emerald mine, and I'm going to cheese it the way that I sometimes like to do, just because it's not really a priority. You know, the emerald mine, the orb of mind would be nice to have it spawning more consistently. Now, where is that golem trying to go to? It can't seem to figure out where the door is. There we go. So, yeah, we're going to go along the edge here, and we're going to grab emeralds. If we wanted to go farther and get like 25 treasures, then we would need to go into the emerald mine. But I believe for 10 treasures, that's not an issue. These guys are really bad at finding the door. Let's see. So we're just going to continue on here, really grabbing the easiest pickings. And let's see, that's got us at 6. So let's head back out. And it looks like one of them got lost or got killed by something, which is... oh, nope, there it is. Just got a little bit lost. Now, if we can kill a miner someplace a little bit more convenient, that would actually be something quite desirable. There's one of those unstable areas that you sometimes see in the living lands. But we can make it stabler by killing that miner. Unfortunately, did not open up any new territory, so we're just going to grab these 2 emeralds and head back out. Make sure our golems can get to us. And that one cannot. Oh, there it goes. There. So that's, I mean, that is the hazard of trying to lead an army, is they're not very bright. And they do cause problems sometimes. They can get in your way, they can get lost. Let's see, we're at 9, so let's see, if we charge this pikeman, we can go up here, grab that, and just fight off these miners. There we go. And we are done. So that's our 10th emerald. And so we are ready. We should be spawning Camelots now. And we have the Orb of Speed, which is going to make, once again, make managing our army a little bit difficult. And I think I want to grab some orbs here. We have the extra time to do that now. Of course, Orb of Speed and Orb of Flash have some synergy when the Orb of Life is active. Just because it lets you get some room away from your golems in order to use the Orb of Flash. Now, we don't have anything particular that we want to use it on, but it's a useful thing to have. Now, I believe Camelot should be spawning. Let's double check. Yes, it is. Okay. So, it's just a matter of finding it. And we're going to keep our teleport up pretty topped off. What is that? Is that another orb of life? Okay. And there is a Camelot for us. I think I'm just going to... Oops! That was a mistake. Just going to stop worrying about the golems as much. It looks like we've lost one of them. I thought there was a door over here. I misread kind of the wall tile as a door. I guess it's one of the windows that the knights look at. Can we talk to you? Find the Holy Grail to become one of us. The Holy Grail is in the center of the round table. I enjoy watching the HyperRogue battles. Have you visited a temple in Relia? Nice castle, eh? The Red Rock Valley is dangerous but beautiful. Train in the desert first. Our table seats a lot of knights. There are very many floor tiles inside our table. Those numbers are too long for me to want to read out. When I visited the palace, a mouse wanted me to go somewhere. I wonder what was there. So that is a clue for the princess quest. So they're giving a lot of clues about the world. I think this is some of their older dialogue, but I don't remember. It's been a while since we've talked to them. Be careful in the rose garden. It is beautiful but very dangerous. There is no royal road to geometry. That's interesting. There is no branch of mathematics, however abstract, which may not someday be applied to phenomena of the real world. That's so true. I mean, they've been finding things that make very little sense and are how they could be applied, that are so abstract that a lot of people really struggle to understand them at all, that have had applications in physics. I think the most famous is the whole -1/12 thing that is... It causes... It's like every time somebody brings up the whole sum of natural numbers thing, everybody gets confused, and very few people know what's going on. And it's... A lot of people say it as the sum of the natural numbers is -1/12, which is completely untrue. But there's this thing called zeta regularization that I don't completely understand, but that demonstrates a relationship between the sum of the natural numbers and -1/12 that has an application in physics, and I don't know what it is. But it amazes me how much abstract stuff that's so abstract you can barely even imagine it gets used in phenomena of the real world. It is not possession, but the act of getting there, which grants the greatest enjoyment. That's something I'm always saying. These are some wonderful quotes. You know, the way I see it is, you know, the journey is the destination, and, you know, I always make a point that the people who get there, in great big air quotes that you can't see me making, they're not actually there, again in air quotes, but they're the people who want the journey and are staying on the journey. And they're so far ahead of us that it seems like they must be somewhere, but what they're doing is the same as what we're doing. They're learning, they're trying, they're doing things to the best of our ability. We're just more impressed by it. We live in a beautiful and orderly world, and not in a chaos without norms. Thank you very much for talking, and have a great rest of your day. And that always warms my heart to see that. That's such a tribute that I really appreciate that. And I completely missed it the first time we saw it. Quite a while ago we talked to the Knights. So, at this point, we are on the lookout for... What are we on the lookout for? We want to go back to the Living Cave. So that is the next item of business, but we've actually... I think we haven't been going super long, but we've been going long enough that I want to start to think about wrapping it up, start to think about, you know, editing me, getting very mad at me later on down the road. So here we have an Orb of the Mind, which is going to be pretty important later on, but we don't really have much use for it right now. So we're just going to... Let's see, can we use it on metal beasts? Indeed we can. So that's good to know. I wonder if we can use it on rich metal beasts. But we're nearly out, and... Oh, there's one. But it does not leave fulgurite. Okay, that's good to know. So, we do need to look for the Orb of Energy, which requires the Ivory Tower to get to the Yendorian Forest. And once we get into the Yendorian Forest, that's how we unlock the Orb of Energy. All part of my very elaborate plan. And so now, of course, I'm not the greatest at finding things in this game, and so we're just going to wander around until I happen to notice a living cave. Let's see, you can't target... We can target the Orb of Teleport, we cannot target the Orb of Storms, which makes sense. Oops! Oh yeah, you can't step... I tried to step onto a cell that you can't step onto. So that was a mistake, but we have... you cannot stab flail guards. That's interesting. So, yeah, real quick now, we're going to try to... this is something I actually remembered, is that we actually want the Orb of the Mind active when we go into the Living Cave. So we're actually going to kind of cruise along. The Orb of Nature could be useful. I love just using it, whether or not it's useful. I wonder how the ivy reacts to the walls. I imagine that they have no effect. So you can attack seeps with it. And of course now I'm getting very distracted. I think we're going to... Let's see. I think we're going to go along here and try and find some Orb of the Mind, which is, I think, going to be fairly rare. And we're going to try to bring that into a... you can't attack pikemen with it because of the way that they attack. So, yeah, we want to bring an Orb of Mind into the Living Cave in order to protect us from trolls. The Orb of Teleport is also something really, really valuable to have. So I'm going to try and keep those charges up. And keep an eye out. I don't believe, let's see, find new lands more easily, more likely to spawn. Orbs of Safety are more likely to spawn in the Whirlpool. Okay. Now, I don't know how far along we want to go, how aggressive we want to be. Orb of Freedom could be useful, but you don't get very many charges from it, and so we're not likely to be... Oh dear. We're going to drop into that Orb of Safety, and on that cliffhanger, I think we're going to wrap it up. So in the next episode, and I'm going to write this down as soon as I finish this up, we're going to try to gather up some charge on the orb of mind and teleport, and then we're going to try and go into the living cave just armed to the teeth, so that we can get the treasures that we need and hopefully not get trapped, because the biggest danger is trolls. And the trolls can cause cave-ins, and that's really why I want to be prepared, is, not even out of fear of getting surrounded or checkmated, but just out of fear of cave-ins. So that is what we're going to be doing next time, and until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.